Hello and welcome back to another update of the Trigon 350 Reef Aquarium. There's been a few changes since the last update. I've added another wavemaker, another RW8, J-Cord RW8. Unfortunately my last yellow tang died due to my stupidity, and this is actually a replacement. I did have black spot for a few days, but it seems to have disappeared. A few cover additions. I am also running Supernova, the ATM carbon solution. I'm running that in an American style RO reactor down in the sump. I'll show you that a little bit later on. But for now, I'll take in for a bit of a closer look at the corals, and then I'll show you the sump. Elephant eye coral still not looking its best, unfortunately. I'm hoping it'll recover. I don't know what happened to it. Here's a new addition. This is an orange fan sea sponge, so I've got that in there now. I moved the torch since my last update, and it's actually stuck on with the Tansy coral gum, the instant solution. I'll explain about that in a little bit. The corals seem to be loving the different water movement with this additional RW8. They seem to be loving it. There's the sea whip in the corner there. I am going to have to move that. When I first added the other RW8 on the left hand side, it was on the same speed settings as the one on the opposite end, but it's very clearly a lot more powerful, so they clearly do slow down a lot over time. But getting on to the story about the yellow tang, I bought that new SPS, the large one in the centre of the screen, and because of that I had to move my torch coral, which was positioned roughly where that is, and I tried to get the torch coral to go there, just on the right hand side in between the Duncan and the plate coral, and I could not get it to stick. I was using the D&D Aquascape Epo Putty, and God, it just would not stick. I tried about 20, well not 20, maybe 15 times using the same piece, and unfortunately I got into a tunnel vision mode. I was concentrating so much on trying to get it to stick, I didn't actually realise how cloudy the water was getting, and I saw that some of my fish were starting to struggle. I saw the clownfish in the bottom right hand side really struggling to what seemed oxygen. They just couldn't get any, so of course I bolted through to the wife's tropical aquarium, this one here, and I took out the Eheim air pump and the air stones, and I got them walloped into the Trigon. It was a very stupid thing to do, I mean, letting myself get into that position, because I know better. I'm under the understanding that Epo Putty itself doesn't actually deoxygenate the water, whereas the D&D stuff does. It's my own fault, it was my own stupidity. I got the oxygenators and I got the pump in with the air stones, and I let it oxygenate the water for about 4 hours. I turned on my return pump. I only had one wavemaker at that point then, so I turned that on, get the water flowing, get the oxygenation going, let the air bubbles go around the tank. I thought I lost a lot more fish. It was throughout the next day. I kept calling my wife when I was at work and saying, "Oh, have you seen this one? Have you seen this one?" She only saw about 3. And then when I got home at dinner time, I put some frozen food in the tank, some marine cuisine, and a lot of them bolted out. But unfortunately one didn't, and it was the yellow tang. I can only presume, since it's the largest fish and presumably requires the most oxygen, with the depleted oxygen in the aquarium due to the DD putty, it just didn't make it. So it was a real struggle to try and get it out because it was hidden in a rock in a crevice. There's that cave in the middle, and it was behind there in the back in a crevice of a rock, and it was a real struggle to get out. I had to use a mirror and place it under the water and try and guide myself, and it was a real struggle. But it's my own stupidity. It's a mistake I won't be making again. I used the Tunzi instant coral gum stuff, but it's the instant stuff. It's not like D&D. It's the stuff they use in the dental industry. It hardens in like 60 seconds. I maybe used a little bit too much of it for the torch cover there, but at least I know it's not going to come off. I have thought about redoing it, but this Tunzi, it's not cheap stuff. It was like £15 for a small tub of it. It's 2 separate compounds. You mix it together. But above all that, I'm really happy. I'm so glad I didn't lose my flame angel and my firefish. But any of the other fish, but they're the kind of more expensive ones. But I mean, that's about that for this update. I'll quickly show you the sump. Not much has changed in here. I've got the JBO controllers up there. I bought a J-Cod 4000 for my return pump, and then I bought a J-Cod 1200 as my pump for that goes into the UV, then from the UV into the phosphate reactor, and I've got that going into an American style reactor, and pops out there and goes into the filter sock. And this is C-Chem, I believe C-Chem denitrate media that I'm using as well. That in line with the no pox I think is really helping. I bought a new heater just in case this one fails. It's set as a backup. There's a temperature difference of 3 degrees between them, so there's the filter sock, and since I'm dosing no pox, it keeps clogging up the filter sock, so I'm forced to put some filter floss in the top to stop it from well, at least try and filter the water a bit more. But that's about that for the sump really. There's no new major updates there. This clownfish I noticed has started to host this pom-pom coral. It likes to swim through that throughout the day, which is nice because I've had an anemone before. I would love an anemone in this tank, but it's just too much of a risk. As you can see, this SPS is getting great flow now that I've got the 2 wave makers. But it's funny because they're only on speed 1. They're in H mode, running independently, so they're not linked up to one another. But they're both on speed 1, and it's just getting great flow in this tank, so I don't think I'm going to be putting it any higher. But I suppose that's that for this update, so I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.